The Malignant Void, written by the pen poetess. The new assignment. Born and raised in the small town of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I never imagined that I would one day be employed by the government in a classified facility, safeguarding our nation's most closely guarded secrets. My expertise as a special ops agent had transformed me into a silent, efficient, and lethal force, which ultimately caught the eye of my superiors and secured me this new assignment. This role, with its surreal and unnerving atmosphere, was a far cry from the familiar bayous and swamps of my home state, yet the allure of the unknown, laced with a hint of dread, was irresistible. The sprawling facility was a maze of dimly lit hallways, hiding countless locked doors and heavily guarded entrances. Within these walls, strange artifacts and entities resided, their existence enough to make even the most ardent skeptic shudder. The government had managed to keep these secrets well hidden, but I couldn't escape the sensation that we were walking a precarious tightrope, teetering on the edge of a catastrophic eruption. There were 4 rules that governed our lives within these walls, each one etched into our minds from the moment we set foot in this place. Never enter a containment area without proper authorization. Always don the appropriate protective equipment. Never disclose facility affairs to anyone beyond these walls. Immediately report any abnormal activity or observations. We were sternly warned that any deviation from these rules could bring about unimaginable calamity. At the time, I couldn't have fathomed just how precise that warning would be. The breach. On an ordinary night, darkness abruptly enveloped the facility as alarms pierced the silence. The eerie glow of red strobes sliced through the blackness, while an insistent voice over the intercom announced, "Containment breach in Sector 7. All agents report to your designated stations. This is not a drill." My heart raced, the chilling reality dawning on me. One of those horrific beings had slipped its bonds. Despite our rigorous training, nothing could have prepared me for the unbridled fear that now coursed through my veins. The shrill cry of the alarms stirred me into action as muscle memory and instinct commandeered my movements. I darted towards my locker, quickly donning my tactical vest. Its familiar weight, laden with extra ammunition and vital tools, provided a sense of reassurance. My black combat uniform seemed to meld with my body, offering both protection and agility. Without a moment's hesitation, my hands clasped my trusty HK 416. The weapon, as cold and unyielding as the steel it was forged from, felt like an extension of my own being. Designed for close-quarters combat and precise shooting, it would be indispensable in the dimly lit corridors that lay ahead. My Glock 19 nestled into its thigh holster, ever ready to serve if things went south. With swift, practiced motions, I secured my combat boots, their stealthy design allowing me to traverse the shadows like a ghost. As I fastened my tactical helmet, the night vision system flickered to life, cloaking the room in an otherworldly green hue. "Alpha Team, secure the lower levels. Bravo Team, head to the east wing. Move." Our commander's voice crackled through the radio, issuing orders with practiced authority. As a member of the Alpha Team, I wove through the dim corridors, every sense heightened by the distant cries of fellow agents and the monstrous bellows of the escaped entity. The air hung thick with an electrifying blend of terror and adrenaline. "Stay alert and trust your instincts. Remember your training," I murmured into the radio, striving to keep the tremor from my voice. Each measured step reverberated in my ears, my finger poised above the trigger of my HK 416, eyes scanning for any sign of movement. A sudden cacophony shattered the silence, succeeded by a spine-chilling shriek. My instincts propelled me into the shelter of a nearby alcove. "Agent Michaels," I whispered into my radio. "Report your position." Nothing but silence greeted me. "Agent Michaels, do you copy?" Silence reigned. I inhaled deeply, attempting to steady my racing heart. "Michaels is down. I repeat, Michaels is down," I relayed, my voice betraying a tremble. "Copy that," responded my commanding officer. "Proceed with caution." With my pulse thundering, I emerged from my temporary sanctuary. Stealthily traversing the shadowed passageway, my thoughts spiraled uncontrollably. What if we can't contain this monstrosity? What if this is the catalyst that ignites the impending disaster? I shook my head, forcing myself to refocus. This was no time for doubt. In the bowels of Section 7, the darkness seemed to morph into a living entity, its tendrils reaching out to ensnare us. The frigid, sterile walls silently bore testimony to the night's atrocities, as bloodstains painted a grim tale of despair and brutality. "We're close," Agent White murmured, his voice strained with apprehension. "Brace yourself for anything." As we rounded a bend, we were met with a nightmarish scene extracted from humanity's darkest thoughts. A fellow agent lay sprawled on the ground, his body distorted into an unnatural pose. It was a harrowing sight that would forever haunt my dreams. This wasn't any creature we were up against. It was a malevolent force, an embodiment of our most primal fears. The encounter. I delved further into the facility's depths, my flashlight casting spectral patterns on the walls. White and I diverged, each exploring separate paths. The chilly, damp air weighed heavily upon me, and the suffocating silence was only punctuated by the distant noise above. That's when I heard it. The slick, slithering noise of something stirring in the shadows. My heart pounded against my ribcage as I edged around the corner, only to find myself confronted by the monstrosity that had wrenched itself from confinement. This creature, given the name Malignant Void, it was a hideous amalgamation of flesh and bone, its contorted, malformed figure defying all reason. The countless eyes that stud its visage seemed to bore into my very soul, their penetrating stare threatening to unravel the essence of my sanity. Rules: adhere to the protocol, report its position, reinforcements will arrive, hold the line. I fumbled for my radio, my fingers quivering from a blend of fear and adrenaline. But fortune was not in my favor. Sensing my intentions, the creature lunged forward, emitting a guttural growl. Its misshapen limbs extended to trap me in their deadly grasp. Time seemed to decelerate, and I realized I had mere seconds to act. "Move! Now!" I dove aside, narrowly escaping its lethal hold, and scrambled upright. My heart pounded relentlessly as I dashed down the corridor, drawing breaths in ragged gasps. "I've located the target. Lower level, corridor D12. Repeat. I've got eyes on the target." I wheezed into the radio, praying my message would reach my commanding officer in time. "Reinforcements are too far, Jackson. It's up to us. Contain it now." White's voice crackled, each syllable a call to arms. "It's do or die." Clenching my teeth, I locked gazes with the monstrosity. Its eyes, akin to pools of liquid malevolence, seemed to relish the terror clawing at the edges of my resolve. Yet it also perceived my unwavering resolve, a determination honed through innumerable perilous missions. The atmosphere pulsed with intensity, charged like the instant before lightning sliced the heavens. "Show me what you've got, you twisted freak," I snarled, my entire body a coil of pent-up adrenaline and insolence. The creature responded with a furious roar that shook the very walls around us, the sound reverberating through my bones, its gnashing maw, a gaping abyss lined with jagged, blood-stained teeth, lunged for my face, seeking to rend flesh from bone. My years of special ops training kicked in instinctively, and I executed a tactical roll to the side. The creature's teeth clamped shut with a sickening crunch, missing me by a hair's breadth. The frigid damp air caressed my skin as I absorbed every nuance of the scene. The quivering fluorescent lights overhead, the scarlet smear of a fallen comrade's blood on the floor, the acrid aroma of expended gunpowder saturating the air. Regaining my footing, I unleashed a barrage of bullets into the monster's grotesque form. Plumes of noxious smoke rose from its seeping, bullet-ravaged flesh, and the air filled with the reek of scorched meat and sulfur. Yet the abomination appeared unfazed, its wounds mending as swiftly as they were inflicted, an unearthly resilience taunting my endeavors. My heart raced as I grasped that conventional tactics would not suffice to vanquish this living terror. Frustration and desperation ignited within me, but I refused to let them overwhelm me. Every muscle in my body tightened, my instincts honed to razor-sharp precision. I had confronted innumerable adversaries in my career, but none as horrifying and enigmatic as this. The battle! The creature collided with me like a battering ram, hurling me across the floor. My breath flew in a gasp as I struck the wall, the impact casting stars across my vision. But I didn't have time to drown in my pain. With a grunt, I heaved myself upright, brandishing my weapon in a seamless motion. The creature snarled, its multitude of eyes gleaming malevolently as it lunged, claws cleaving the air. I evaded its assault, the aroma of brimstone and decay assailing my senses. "You think you're the only one that can pack a punch?" I challenged. The creature bellowed in response, charging with renewed ferocity. I fired my weapon, round after round of ammunition punctuating the air, targeting its head and heart. But the beast's resilience was otherworldly, my bullets proving a mere annoyance. Our conflict became a hellish dance, a savage pas de deux of teeth and claws. The creature's talons and fangs tore through my protective gear, drawing blood. Its breath, putrid and rancid, saturated the air with a nauseating stench. I fought on, determined to contain it and shield the world beyond these walls. "Is that all you've got?" I taunted, my voice piercing the cacophony of battle. Unfazed, the creature's mangled form appeared to multiply, assailing me from all directions. My heart raced as I evaded its barrage, feeling its talons skim my skin. Agent White, seizing the moment, stormed into the fray, his weapon barking as he unleashed round after round at the writhing, malignant void. "Jackson, we've got this!" White hollered, his voice taut with resolve. "Keep it pinned down." Amid our brutal duel, the distant sound of reinforcements reverberated through the corridor, their arrival heralded by the pounding of boots. Just a few more moments, and backup would reach us. I gritted my teeth, drawing on every ounce of my being to endure. "Jackson, it's now or never," White bellowed, his voice resounding through the passageway. With a surge of determination, I mustered my strength, shifting my weight and pinning the creature to the wall with a sickening crunch. It writhed and thrashed, but I held firm, biding my time. With a fierce roar, I pivoted and slammed the butt of my weapon into the beast's skull, staggering it for a moment. The final assault. An opening materialized before me. I grasped the opportunity, unsheathing my knife and driving it into the creature's hide, twisting and wrenching it with all my might. It unleashed a blood-curdling howl, convulsing in agony, its vile blood coating my hands. The creature's twisted muscles tensed like steel cables, readying for a last, desperate strike. My heart raced, adrenaline surging as I prepared to meet its charge. Suddenly, the creature lunged, its maw agape, its eyes burning with an unearthly intensity. I sprang forward, evading its attack, and delivered a vicious kick to its midsection. It reeled backward, but before I could strike again, the creature's form blurred and morphed, its body warping and twisting in impossible ways. I was momentarily disoriented by the creature's bizarre metamorphosis, but White was ready. He unloaded a hail of gunfire into the creature, causing it to screech in agony. But still, it refused to yield. "We've got to take it down!" I shouted, my voice strained with exertion. I looked around, searching for anything that could help us. I noticed a row of heavy machinery along the wall, each one looking more intimidating than the last. My eyes landed on the massive hydraulic press, a gleaming metallic behemoth with a press plate large enough to crush a car. I knew what I had to do. With a groan, I dashed towards the press, dodging the creature's flailing limbs. I hit the controls, and the machine hummed to life, the hydraulic cylinders whirring as the press plate descended towards the creature. It roared in defiance, its many eyes gleaming with malice. With a final burst of strength, I lunged forward, shoving the beast towards the press. Its twisted limbs thrashed, but it was too late. The press plate slammed down, the sound of crunching bones echoing through the air. The creature let out a final pitiful howl before collapsing into a heap of mangled flesh and bone. As I turned to depart, the creature unleashed a furious roar, summoning an unforeseen surge of strength as its body regenerated. With a thunderous heave, it hefted the massive pneumatic press off its chest, flinging it aside like a child's toy. I whirled around just in time to witness the spectacle, my heart racing with disbelief and awe. The machine lay twisted and mangled, a testament to the creature's incredible power. Its warped metal and twisted wires bore witness to the enormity of the creature's strength. I could scarcely believe my eyes, for I knew firsthand the sheer weight and bulk of that piece of machinery. The malignant void stood towering over me, its many eyes gleaming with malice. My heart pounded in my chest as I gazed upon it, a primal fear surging within me. I braced myself for the next assault, my instincts honed razor sharp. But the creature simply stood there as if contemplating its next move. I could feel its gaze upon me, probing my soul, seeking to unravel my deepest fears. In that moment, I knew that my training and my equipment would not be enough to overcome this monster. Heavy boots thundered through the corridor as the elite squad of heavily armed agents arrived. Then it happened. The agents' gunfire tore through the air, and the creature wailed in torment. Its unnatural form quivering under the onslaught, yet it refused to succumb. We teetered on the brink of defeat, but I refused to yield. "I'm going for the kill shot!" I roared, seizing the explosive in my arsenal. The agents took cover, poised to provide backup if needed. "Make it count, Jackson," White urged, his voice grim with determination. As the creature lunged, I hurled the explosive with deadly precision. "This is for Michaels, you abomination!" I snarled. It detonated upon impact, engulfing the monster in a cataclysmic inferno. The ground quaked beneath us, and in that decisive moment, the balance of power shifted. Ichor and body parts hurtled through the air, and the once terrifying beast lay fragmented and vanquished at our feet. Though victorious, the price was steep. The wreckage surrounding us bore testament to the horrors we had faced, the terror we had confronted and overcame. We had been pushed to the edge, but ultimately we had triumphed. Surveying the carnage, the weight of our loss and the enormity of our victory overwhelmed us, leaving us shaken yet resolute. Michaels, White and I had been through multiple special ops missions together. We had shared unforgettable experiences, formed a tight bond, and I had even come to know and cherish their families. But now, I mourn the loss of such a loyal and brave comrade. Michael's absence would be felt by all who knew him, and his memory would never fade away. There we stood, gasping for breath, drenched in sweat and the repulsive blood of the malignant void, acutely aware of the catastrophic breach we had narrowly averted. If that creature had escaped the facility, there would have been no stopping the havoc it could have wreaked upon the world. But we held the line, adhering to the rules, and contained the horror within the facility's walls. In the aftermath, the facility went into lockdown. We were debriefed and questioned, every facet of the incident scrutinized to ensure no stone remained unturned. As I resumed my duties, I couldn't shake off the memories of that fateful night. The intense horrors that unfolded before my eyes would never fade away, haunting me for the rest of my life. It was a stark reminder of the unimaginable terror that lurked beneath the veil of our world. But despite the overwhelming fear, I, Wayne Jackson, a small-town boy from the bayou, vowed to protect the world from the insidious darkness that threatened to consume it. I truly hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. If you're pumped up and ready for more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our awesome YouTube fam. By being part of our crew, you'll stay in the loop with all the thrilling and captivating content we'll be sharing on the regular. Believe me, you don't want to miss out on the fantastic ride ahead. Oh, and don't forget to give that little bell icon a tap so you'll always be the first to know when I drop a fresh new video. Let's keep this good energy flowing and make our community even more epic. Get involved in the comments, share your thoughts, invite your friends, share this video, and let's create some unforgettable moments together. Thanks for being part of the fam, and until next time, stay cool, stay inspired, stay connected, and most importantly, stay safe. Peace out.